Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our second episode of Bad YouTube Takes, and as you're seeing right here, yes, this right here is going to be one hell of a tale, so buckle up because we could be in for a bumpy one here. So to give you guys a little bit of context before we get into the screenshots compiled in the tweet I made about this right here took place in the comments section of my video where I more or less called out Jubilee Blaze and MNJ TV for what took place last year, and the incident as a whole was a complete and utter mess. So I don't want to rehash too much on the details. If you are interested in finding out the details, then I will link you guys to that video in the description down below of this video. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. So the first screenshot provided here is from a commenter by the name of LJK401 that commented, "Don't pretend you care about rape, LOL." I think that right there more than can speak for itself, but I'm just gonna say this much. If I didn't care about rape, then I wouldn't be sympathetic towards rape victims, now would I? Now let's get into where things really truly start to break down. So the same individual commented, "Didn't realize Jubilee was based." I asked, "How is she based?" And this individual responded by saying, "Shitting on men is based." Yep. You can tell we're already in for a rough one, ladies and gentlemen. So I respond, it's not. It's a sexist and cowardly thing to do. Especially in this day and age, anyone can say anything and you put on a good performance, people will believe you without proof. This video shows proof of a situation where her BS backfired and people were having none of it. And the scary thing about what I said there is that, yeah, you can put on a good performance about anything, spin a good story, and sound so convincing, and people will believe it even though there is no proof to back up what that person is saying. So continuing on, this individual says, "LOL, if she were a man, you wouldn't make thus video." I think you meant to say this there, pal. Especially if he was misogynist. Well, actually, my friend, I have made multiple videos calling out guys as well. Not just women, guys. And I don't base call-outs off of gender. I base callouts off of 3 forms of criteria. Number 1, if I have interest in the topic. Number 2, if what needs to be called out actually needs to be called out and spread far and wide. And number 3, if I have experience with said topic that needs to be called out. And here's the thing, is that type of criteria does not discriminate. You can be a male, you can be a female, you can be non-binary, it does not matter. If you say or do something that warrants a discussion, well, guess what? It's gonna happen. So moving on to the next portion of the conversation, I'm gonna sort of sum up what I was saying because what I was saying in response is rather lengthy. So the comment that you are seeing right here, I pretty much highlight that Jubilee ended up trying to slander a group of innocent boys, and she pretty much is a misandrist who hated men for next to no reason, which is absolutely true. And I also called out MNJ TV for his negligence, who happens to be, you guessed it, a male. So here is the thing, is that argument of, oh, if a guy did this, you wouldn't call it out, is just absolutely flawed. And of course, this individual is also laughing at misandry, and I'm thinking, okay, what the hell is so funny? Because misandry is a thing. Do 5 seconds of research and look it up. And then they decide to spin it into, you're calling out a man for standing by his woman. No, I'm calling him out for not stopping the toxicity and being irresponsible and spreading it. Big ass difference, my friend. And they also decide to throw out my friend Manga Common under the bus by saying that he is somehow misogynistic? Okay. Care to back that up with some evidence? So my response to all of this was pretty much boiled down to saying if Manga Common was truly misogynistic, he would have said a lot worse things, been more sexist, and he wouldn't have been as polite. But the thing is that Jubilee spun that into him being sexist and human garbage for calling her out on things that was quite frankly deserved. And also, there was a point where Jubilee went on a massive tirade hating on men, to the point where fellow female creators and female friends of hers were pretty much saying, Jubilee, cut the shit. And of course, this individual says it's not a serious issue in the slightest. Misogynists actually influence society and hurt people. So now we move on to the finale of this whole thing, the fourth and final screenshot. And I end up saying, to you, it's not serious. To many others, it was, and for good reason. How'd you feel if you had your name and reputation smeared falsely over things not true? Also, you got specific examples of how misogynists influencing society and hurting people? And this individual responds, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm finally gonna get a little bit of substance here. The abortion bans, numerous celebrities and politicians being outed rapists and getting away with it, the poor state of gynecology, and I was thinking to myself, okay, we might actually be onto something here, and these are the types of situations and causes that I'm very, very much sympathetic towards. But then this individual shot themselves in the foot by, one, pulling ad hominem by calling me an incel, and also attempting to falsely accuse me of gaslighting and doubting rape victims. Oh boy. You done goofed. So I reply to this, and it is quite lengthy. Now, I am going to read this detail for detail because it pretty much sums up my feelings about all of this. It's really unfortunate and sad things of that nature take place. There's 100% no defending that. Know what else there's no defending? Calling me an incel and accusing me of gaslighting and doubting victims. Congrats, you just destroyed your argument there with fallacies like ad hominem and false accusations. Nothing about this indicates me gaslighting anyone or doubting victims. The two don't even come close in this situation, so how you managed to conflate the two baffles me. Also, FYI, I don't doubt victims. I sympathize with them. However, what I do is take an approach like an investigation where solid evidence is required to move forward in legal terms. There have been many victims who never got their justice, and alternatively, there have been many people falsely accused of horrible things without actual proof, and an innocent life was just ruined. There are many things in life that go wrong, and sadly, not all of them are afforded the chance to get justice. There are many injustices and imbalances in life, but at the end of it all, it doesn't justify slander and libel against people who did nothing to deserve it. That's what this video called out. Not sure how you can make these leaps and bounds and say I'm gaslighting or doubting victims when I actually go to bat for a victim here in this video. This is you spinning it into how you see it when it's not the reality of the situation. And this right here is where the individual's .exe has completely malfunctioned and stopped working. They respond, too long didn't read. And I respond, translation, I have no proper rebuttal, and I'm backing out of this argument. Thanks for failing to disprove any of my points here. GG. So that pretty much wraps up this whole thing. Now, I want to make something very, very clear. I am not Mr. Perfect. I am not infallible. There have been countless instances where I have been in the wrong. Hell, my video addressing M&J TV and Jubilee Blaze had some objective flaws to it, and I've acknowledged that and apologized for it time and time again in videos as well as streams. But the thing is that it doesn't change the events and the facts of what happened here, and the fact that this individual right here actually tried to defend that and then shift goalposts and try to accuse me of things that I didn't do, well, that's where you know for a fact that this individual had absolutely no arguments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Bad YouTube Takes. This right here, like I said before, is in fact one hell of a tale. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you for your time. Have yourself a damn good one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.